Welcome, my fellow Geminis. Today we are going to do a um, a look at 2024, a year in review. Is what I'm trying to say. Except what I'm going to do is I'm breaking them down into seasons. So this one's going to be winter or January, February, March. I say that because I know not everyone is celebrating. Do you celebrate winter? I don't know. But not everyone is going to have winter at the same time. So January, February, and March. And we're going to use the same format for all of the readings, um, the same cards, and I have really, really shuffled them. But I'll shuffle them a little bit more when we start your reading. So, what is going on for January, February, March? Remember, the main reason why I'm doing this is we're going into a universal year 8. And I wrote a few things down that I just want to go over real quick so you understand what that means. I also would recommend for a little homework researching a universal year 8 and then research your personal year number. And how you figure that out is you take the day that you were born, add it to the month you were born, and then add it to the universal year. So I was born September 13th. I would add that to an 8. And that brings me, if I bring the number down, it means I'm going to have a personal year 3. I'll take it within an 8 year. 8 is really about your material world. So don't feel guilty. Don't feel bad. If you feel like pulled to do like extra work, people are like, come out and play. Wait a minute. I got to get this done first. So anyways, 8, it's associated with wealth, power, influence, ambition, capable, and strong. It may be a time of huge transformation, but you must embrace it. The transformation, I feel, is only going to be good, especially when we understand what the year is asking from us, so that it can bring us as many blessings or what have you. Think big, think big, set your goals high, and reach for the stars. I'm telling you, this is the month to do that. This is the year, this is the year to do that. This is also a year where there's going to be some falls and rises and falls. Try to go with the flow. And remember, every time you're down, you have nowhere left to go but up. So this year is teaching us that. Like when we fall, what are we going to do? Are we going to stay down or are we going to rebuild in some way? So that may be some lessons for us. Um, Share the love, share the wealth. So as you are able to create more and more, let's say, financial abundance for yourself, it's also the energy of giving. So I receive, I give. I give, I receive. It's a two-way street. It really is. Um, 8 is the number of infinity, no beginning, no end. This is about a new beginning. So it's a new beginning on an already path, let's say. Ultimately, it's about capitalizing on all that's occurred over the previous 7 years. Remember, we run in 9-year cycles. So next, 2025 is going to be universal year 9. 2026, we move into the new cycle of the 1. So, look at the last 7 years. What have you been doing? What are some of your dreams that maybe you haven't manifested, but you want to manifest them? Keep your thoughts positive. Like nothing is off the table this year, especially as it deals with career, finances, material wealth, all of that. Nothing is off the table. And then I feel like also in the 7 years, the last 7 years, look at it like what were the lessons that I learned? How did I become stronger? what made me into who I am today, and use all that as your experience, integrating the lessons and the experiences so that you can make the best use of them before we do enter into that one personal or that one universal year. This is a time to stand on our own 2 feet so you can feel your own power. Pretty special. Um, it doesn't talk a lot about spirituality, though. I feel like it definitely is a spiritual number. As above, so below, no beginning, no end, infinity. You've been here before, remember you're a spiritual being having human experiences. So been here, done that, and now we're gonna take it to the limit. Okay. Let's start with Mother Mary and get your words of wisdom, and let's open up this reading. I know there's a bit of talking. I try not to talk before I begin a reading because I know that quickly people lose interest. um, but you need to know that information, or at least I would like you to know that information. All right. Gemini, sun, moon, rising. Okay, you got quite a few, but if you've been following me, you know that I do not turn Mother Mary's cards away, especially if they're face up. So we're going to take them. We have grace. Grace reminds me of a number 5. Because 5 is about change, but as graceful as possible. That's how you get through change. All right, grace. I am filled with the same beauty, poise, and divine perfection as all of God's other creatures. Grace. I know some of you have the name Grace, and I know some of you have granddaughters named Grace. Feminine. I allow my feminine nature to shine brightly as a valuable part of my identity. Male or female. Remember, we carry both masculine and feminine energy. Right now, it feels like for the January, February, March, it's calling on that feminine energy. Patience of my child, patience. I trust in divine timing. I trust in divine timing. And last but not least, be strong. I pull myself up and do what needs to be done. This is definitely an 8-year energy reading. I pull myself up and I do what needs to be done. Divine timing is part of this. Grace, again, it reminds me of the number 5, but also I feel like it's saying you have the same value. Like if you've been devaluing yourself or somebody else has, it's just not the case. You were uniquely made for this world. So anyone who tells you otherwise, they don't know what they're talking about. All right. Going to bring the lid down, and we are going to start for January, though I am going to give it some shuffles. I do this mainly for you so you can see that I really do shuffle them. January. All right, and I am pulling from the top of the deck. That's why I spent so much time shuffling. Excuse me. All right, Gemini, are you ready? Just exhaling any stress, worry out to the universe. You take it. I don't want it. We have the 6 of Swords. Six of Swords. Hello, Knight of Pentacles, our guardian angel. It's like a reward because of the Six of Swords, and I'll explain that in a second. We have the High Priestess, your intuition. So before I move on, let's look at this real quick, because the Knight of Pentacles is in the middle of these three cards right now, and the Knight of Pentacles really does speak of this knight bringing you a pentacle. This pentacle is meant to really expand your life. You know, think of it as a seed, and what you do with it is what you will make of it. But I feel like it's unlimited potential. I feel like it's also a reward coming in because I feel like someone has listened to their intuition as it relates to toxic type energy that's around them, whether it be people, a place, things, your own thoughts, a mixture of all of those things. Six of Swords is the moving away from that. So first I've had that realization. Now I know. Now I know. And once you know, you can't unknow it, right? So trusting your intuition, it feels like, it almost feels like a reward for that. You know, I feel like if you've been dealing with some toxic type energy, it's like this Knight of Pentacles who comes at the right time. I feel like I'm ready for you. Come on in, I'm ready. We have the Chariot. Some of you, maybe you're buying a car with that money. We have Judgment, your spiritual team, coming right under the page. I'm sorry, the Knight of Pentacles that I often call our guardian angel. The Judgment is your spiritual team, and they come with a message. They're calling you to the present moment. Now, this is for January. So it's saying right off the bat, you're being called to the present moment. You know, I feel like the Six of Swords is what you're putting behind you. So hopefully 2023, you're able to like really evaluate yourself, your life, your job, your love, all of that, and decide, you know, what's helping me and what's stopping me, and eliminate what's stopping you and accelerate what's helping you. So Judgment says there's about to be a rebirth. Well, that would make sense because this knight is about to bring in a pentacle. And again, this pentacle is really made to expand your life. I swear, for someone, I feel like this is your car. Like you're finally getting a car. And, or like when I lived in New England, a car. Eight of Wands, fast moving energy. What I think about, I bring about. Coming under the High Priestess. That's why Judgment is like, I need your attention now. Now, please. Because something is happening rather quickly. And I feel like in the Eight of Wands, I feel like four of those wands are my intentions going out into the universe. Or another way of putting that, my vibration. And the universe is going to meet my vibration. So they're going to send me back what I'm vibrating out. So I want to think about that. Because if I'm able to eliminate those five swords, and then this energy starts coming in, wow, it's a different ball game. Number 8, new beginning, universal year 8, Judgment, spiritual team. They're recognizing the fact, first of all, that we're even doing the universal year 8. The Chariot represents 2023. So keep that in mind. So moving from the Chariot's energy into the universal year 8. Let's keep going. We have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands mirroring that Six of Swords. Well, it kind of makes sense. It's a little bit of battling, not a little bit, it's battling energy. It's the energy where everybody wants to be right, nobody wants to be wrong. Somebody's got to be wrong, right? Someone's got to be right, I guess. I feel like really what it speaks about, though, is not allowing yourself to get pulled into the drama of it. You know, you got bigger and better places to go. You got people to meet. You got adventures to be had. So I feel like if I'm wasting my time with someone who is very much in their ego, how much time do I want to give them? Very quickly, I want to say for some, I feel like this could even talk about a twin flame, and maybe the twin flame is, you know, not doing their part, and you can't make them. That's free will. But there are no way would the universe ask you to wait around. You know, what will be, will be. In the meantime, go out and have fun, have adventures. You know, the chariot does represent unlimited potential. Unlimited potential. But I feel like a lot of that is coming from your own intentions. All right, let's keep going. We have the moon, card of Pisces, ruler of Cancer. We literally just had a full moon. And then we have the Hermit, card of Virgo. The Hermit's illuminating the moon. It's interesting because the moon only allows us to go as far as the moonlight allows us, right? I feel like your spiritual team is saying there's something you're going to need to trust them in. Like some type of rebirth is happening, and I feel like you've got to like learn to put your trust within your guides, within your spirituality, within God. I feel like you are a very old soul, and therefore you do carry a lot of wisdom with you. And listen, maybe you don't even know that. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we don't realize things until certain situations arise. I feel like down here, if for the month of January, if someone's playing hardball with us, then adios, adios. Your spiritual team is right smack center of this reading. The moon can talk about uncertainty, but the hermit's illuminating. So it's almost like what the moon doesn't illuminate for you, the hermit does. And again, I feel like it's your wisdom because it's connected or mirrored by the high priestess. You know, it's those things that you know, but sometimes you don't know how you know them. You just know them. And I mean on a spiritual level, even, well, I guess, on an earthly level also. I do feel like I do have to rise above anybody else's drama. Just be careful of not getting pulled into it because I don't feel like it'll serve you. That's why. All right. I want to take one card though, and I want to go right down the middle, the Two of Pentacles. It's like it puts the ball in your court. Look at this on the bottom of the deck. Ace of Pentacles. Interesting because the Knight of Pentacles says I'm bringing a pentacle in. But this knight doesn't come in until the right time. You know, when is the right time? It's different for everyone. But I feel like it's giving us a clue. It's saying, when we allow the drama to end, when we allow the toxicity to end, and sometimes it's our own thought system, and sometimes it's just it's a bunch of different things. People, situations, jobs, my thoughts, all of that. But whatever it is, it's become toxic to your growth. Now, I feel like you dealt with that. Or let's put it this way, this is why I'm doing the readings a little bit early, because I feel like 2023, it gives you the opportunity to clear up what you need to clear up. Think of next year as being the full, free and clear. Doesn't mean you have to cut all people out of your life, anything like that. It just means I'm not going to take pain. I'm not going to take anger, um, unstored forgiveness. I'm not going to take that along for the ride with me because I want fresh, new energy. So the Ace of Pentacles is. Again, it's that seed. I can nurture this seed, and if I nurture it, it goes to unlimited potential. If I ignore it, it just dries up and dies. Yeah. Two Pentacles is like, it's up to you. It's up to you, my dear. Two Pentacles, they call it the Juggler's card. I think it's more using the logical mind, but nonetheless, it is about making a decision. It's interesting because the decisions are over these Pentacles. Well, and I'm looking at the two, maybe really the six and the two, which is an eight. Maybe really what this two is referring to is the Six of Swords. So, am I willing to leave what needs to be left in the past in the past? I hope so. Look at that, the Nine of Pentacles under the Ace of Pentacles. Great energy for anyone who is who has their own business or is thinking of beginning their a new business. The Hermit's here could certainly be a spiritually based business. Doesn't have to be though. Some of you, maybe you open up a car lot. I don't know why I got that. Some of you, it's maybe, the opportunity, I feel like maybe to purchase a horse. And maybe that's part of what I do for a living, or it's one of my dreams. I feel like the dreams are unlimited. Look at this. Nine of Pentacles, successful self-employment. Now we don't see that. The Ace of Pentacles is above it, but it's right behind it. So I feel like I can take this ace and I can create true success for myself. It's a very independent energy. And I really love this energy because I feel like once I can take care of me, I can take care of me. I seem to take less bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I take, like, if somebody comes to me with bullshit, I'm like, no. No. I'm too strong. Too busy. I'm creating. I'm building. I'm sharing my wealth. King of Pentacles underneath that. King of Pentacles could be Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And I'm only giving you that because I decided, because I'm holding it in my hand now. I didn't mean to pick it up, but I did. So this could talk about looking at your situation from the big picture. Temperance is underneath this king. Divine timing. The Knight of Pentacles. The right timing. So, I like that. All right. So for January, let's kind of wrap January up a little bit. So January, first of all, the Ace of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Whether you feel it coming or you're surprised that this opportunity, this seed is coming your way. It's coming your way because I feel like, first of all, it feels like a reward. And, I hate to use the word reward because we're not children, right? But at the same time, I do feel like there's like heavenly rewards, spiritual rewards because if we remember we're spiritual beings having human experiences, then I do feel like, I guess rewards is the right word. So, anyways, I feel like we walk into January, hopefully clearing the past, and we're met immediately then with this beautiful pentacle. being given to us by the Knight of Pentacles. I can trust this Knight. 100% I can trust this Knight. Even if it's like comes in the dark, I can still trust it. He's handing it to the High Priestess. So it's your intuition. What do I do with this pentacle? Can I trust this pentacle? Well, your intuition will let you know. I mean, the answer is yes, you can trust it. But for some reason, if you're asking that question, your intuition's going to let you know immediately. And that's what we got to remember about our intuition. You know, it's that first instinct. I'm noticing the cross around her neck, and I don't know why, but I feel like I saw the Hierophant, but I don't see it now, so I don't know. So anyways, so in comes this pentacle. And then the chariot, unlimited potential with whatever you want to do with it, because the chariot's being mirrored by that Eight of Wands. So it's your vibration that's really determining how far this pentacle can go in your life. Your spiritual team is right there. They need you to stay present. Don't think too far in the future. And definitely don't think of the past. Think of the present. And what can I do right here, right now? The Hermit is your spirituality. It's what you've been through. It's all that you've learned. I feel like that's why the Hermit wears the cloak. I also feel like I'm not a showy type of person. I don't know why I'm getting that. But ultimately, the Hermit becomes the master teacher. And I feel like it's just a natural energy for the Hermit. So some of you, I feel like you're just natural, like you're naturally allowing that part of you to come out. And I don't know, maybe you're helping to guide others through the dark. Kind of feel like that, like helping to guide others through the dark. Now, that could just mean dark times or the dark. But the bottom line, it puts the ball in your court. The aces show, no matter what, that you can trust it. And maybe that's why, like the Six of Swords, like letting that be, letting that go. Who knows? Maybe somebody in that what was the Five of Swords would have claimed that your pentacle for themselves. And this pentacle's meant for you. Okay, let's pick up January and let's keep moving forward. So I feel like here starts the beginning of these aces coming in. We're going to use the Psychic Tarot for February. I guess I should be saying Happy New Year's, Happy Valentine's Day. What happens in March? I don't know. Let's give him a cut. And let's open up February. February from the beautiful Geminis. Hello, fulfillment of wishes. Nine of Cups. Inner harmony. I mean, I feel like you took those aces and you're doing something with them. I get this feeling of you like really being able to stand on your own 2 feet. And I get this feeling of, true inner harmony, like true inner harmony. Doesn't mean that there won't be, again, those rises and falls. But I feel like you'll know what to do. Nine of Cups, fulfillment of wishes. I mean, opening up your month for February. Dang it. Obstacles and challenges. I feel like Tara's got that in the exact same place. And then suffering in silence. Interesting, because you have two nines mirroring each other of completely different of completely different energies. I mean, opposite energies. Fulfillment of wishes, suffering in silence. What comes between the two? Obstacles and challenges. So there's some type of obstacle. Here's one of those lows. There's an obstacle put before you. Now, in a five, it's easy for us to get stuck. The five always asks for change. So I feel like whatever obstacle or challenge is put before you, I definitely feel that you can overcome it. I definitely know that you can overcome it. I do feel like you've got to know that. I feel like if you're someone who is suffering in silence, you got to speak about it. Maybe you are someone who's like maybe you're starting a tarot channel, and the more you speak of your own experiences, the more you're able to heal them. She's not in a defensive mode. I feel like she's afraid to take a leap. She's afraid to take a leap. Maybe she's afraid that she won't be able to overcome this challenge, but I know she can. Let's keep going. The waiting game. Power. Number 8. Moving on. 6 of Swords again. Okay. Some of you, I feel like maybe you've been waiting for someone else to fulfill you. And what you're figuring out is they can't fulfill you. You need to learn how to fulfill yourself. Um, this suffering in silence, and then the 6 of Swords again. It definitely wants you to look at that because, especially with the Strength card right next to it, power, right? What does that mean? Well, if you think like when I think of Strength card, I think of like how we all have our own inner demons, our own issues that we need to work out, whether they are karmic, whatever they may be. But the more that we're able to work them out, the stronger or the more power we gain, whether that's spiritual power or just power in general. So, definitely something to overcome. But you do. I mean, also look at this person, half lion, the king of the jungle, right? So, if I can tame the king of the jungle, what can't I tame? And maybe that's simply what it's saying. Like, you just need to know that you can tame this lion. Let's keep going. Mental conflict, 2 twos back to back. Intuition, 222. Some of you, this is talking about a relationship with all these twos. And then the 3 of Pentacles, recognition and reward. Your intuition is looking this direction, not back. Okay. I feel like there was a lover, let's just say, a relationship, boyfriend or girlfriend, something like that, where I feel like they kept you in a state of wondering. Will I? Will they? Will we come together? And I feel like it's done a real number on you. I feel like you're changing though. I feel like you're realizing that I can't sit here and just wait for someone to want to be with me. To me, it's as simple as you want to be with me or you don't. And that's up to you. I'm not going to judge them because they don't fall in love with me. Doesn't mean there's not someone else that won't fall in love with me. And sometimes I feel like maybe we're being saved by something being pushed out. Someone's just not recognizing your uniqueness, though you should recognize that. It's almost like a situation that if I don't deal with it, I feel like in a way it robs your joy. Now, again, we have the Six of Swords. So I do feel like, again, you're able to deal with this. I want to take a card right between financial and material changes. Sometimes that's why we hang on too long. Sometimes you're like, we're with someone and, breaking up means not just love. It means, if we're living together, finances, everything changes. That doesn't always have to be a bad thing. And again, it may bring you down for a moment. Find a way to lift yourself back up. And I just want to take a card right here, Transformation, the Death card. Card Scorpio, by the way. But I'm looking at the waiting game, which is a 2, and mental conflict, which is also a 2. Transformation, the Death card. This is a year where transformation is going to be great, period. But this talks about closing doors to the things that are just holding you back. If someone keeps putting these obstacles in front of you and, it's a repeat pattern, you got to see that, right? If you're dealing with someone who is not seeing who you are uniquely, be willing to take that hit, whatever that may mean. I don't mean a physical hit. I mean, like, okay, if we're living together, yeah, my finances might be cut in half. Don't worry about that because this is a year where I feel like, you can, even if my finances are cut in half, I feel like, you're going to recoup them tenfold. It's like I got to take the trash out. I got to start with a clean house. The death card asks you to close doors. It's coming over mental conflict and the waiting game. I feel like no more, no more. Why? Because it has you suffering. Sometimes we think there's only one person who can fulfill us, and really, what's the first card? It talks about you fulfilling yourself, inner harmony. Someone's taking that away. Now you have to reclaim it. So, closing doors, and when a door closes, I'm telling you, another one will open. Trust your intuition because I feel like your intuition is going to throw you like breadcrumbs in the direction to go. And I feel like where you're heading is to a place of energy where you're going to find soulmates. Now, I'm not talking love, though I don't know yet, but I am talking like soulmates who come in and help you. It's like the right person shows up at the right time. It's kind of like the Knight of Pentacles. They come in at the right time. You have a couple fives, so, some change is needed. But, ultimately it's always going to be up to you. Well, except for like if I'm waiting on someone else and they're keeping me in this state of conflict and suffering, then I've got to know that it's up to me to make a change. All right, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Positive movement forward. I take it. Positive movement forward. She's like jumping in her boat and she's sailing to the sun. Look at that deception and envy underneath that. She's leaving that. Emotional loss under that. Dang. I feel like I hung on to someone who doesn't even deserve me. February seems like the month to clear up your love, clear up your love life. You know, if you can do it in January, if you can do it before that, better yet. If you can do it before you come into 2024, all the better. But I don't even want to put like all that pressure on your shoulders. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you'll do it when you do it. But be honest with yourself. Okay, let's pick this up. So February may be one of those months. You know, let's not say it's all bad because it's not all bad. Positive movement forward. Fulfillment of wishes. I feel like the only negative thing is potentially an old relationship. Everything else feels very good. All right. We're going to use the Tarot of Dreams, Seven of Pentacles. Just want to throw that out there. Seven of Pentacles to me means that there's a seed coming to fruition off your tree of life. You know, I look at that tree like an apple tree, and you know, what's the right time to pick that apple? Well, when it's ripe. Sometimes in a rush. I'm in a rush and I want to pick it before it's time. Well, then I'll just throw it away because it'll be bitter. Okay. March. High Priestess. The Emperor. I have to say the Emperor has been out in everyone's reading so far. I mean, you're only the third one. But I do feel like this is a year of business ownership. I feel like this is a year of you know, like pay increases, promotions. I feel like, you know, I do feel like this is a year you got to be bold as it relates to your material world, your finances, and what you want to do in the world. I kind of love that the High Priest is sitting next to the Emperor. Because again, I feel some of you are very psychic, and this may be, it's almost like she's holding a crystal ball, and it's like you're using that energy. Hello, Ace of Cups. Hmm. Ace of Swords, Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, the Sun. Boy, March is looking good. Hmm. Until you know, every time I'm like, I shouldn't have said that. Eight of Swords. I feel like everyone's also gotten the Eight of Swords in their readings so far. So I know everyone's gotten the Emperor. I know everyone's gotten the Eight of Swords. Palace of Cups. That is the real potential because we have the Ace of Cups. Sorry, let me just move these up. A lot of fire right here. Aries, Leo, by the way. Now, when the sun comes out, it's illumination. It is a brand new day. The sun is great energy to live through your inner child. Some of you, I feel like there's talents that you've had since you were a child. Probably have always had them. You may be bringing them to the forefront. I feel like your voice trust in your voice. There's something that you're not trusting in, and it's either love or your own voice, or maybe both. Sun's illuminating the Eight of Swords, that self created prison. I can't ignore it. No way I can ignore it. Star, look at that. Your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, and manifesting them. This isn't just about like, oh, I have dreams. This is about manifesting those dreams. And then the moon. I feel like we all got the moon, or all of them got the moon. So I'm seeing a few synchronicities. Some of you may be like within Aries or Taurus, because that's what I've done. I've done Aries, Taurus, and you so far. Okay, let's look at this. Eight of Swords. Self-created prison. You know, I get why we do it, but we just have to learn it doesn't serve us. It is a way, or at least we feel like our humanness feels that we can protect ourselves that way. We're not trusting in our own energy. We're thinking of the past, living in the past, and therefore creating barriers around us. Some of you, it is related to love. Let's take a card right over that, though. Nine of Pentacles. Hmm. Hmm. Independent success. I feel like for some of you, um, you become very independent. And because you're so independent, it's hard for you to let someone in. Now, it makes sense because you had all those swords, not all those swords, but you had some swords beforehand. Um, but and it's a personal choice. You know what I mean? Like if you don't want to let anybody in, don't let anybody in. I feel like it's almost like I don't trust love. But in the same time, I feel like, it's not that you're not doing anything, in the meantime, because I do feel like this is the energy of you not only creating, I mean, this is such great energy for business ownership and loving what you do. And the high priestess, it's like you're trusting your own voice. Look at this Ace of Pentacles being mirrored down here by the Palace of Cups with the star right next to it. Can I have that Palace of Cups? Well, it looks that way. Um, I don't even know if I've given signs, but we do have Aries, Leo, Aquarius, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or Virgo. Why can't I think of them? Virgo Sun. Both of I have a Gemini moon, and both Gemini and Virgo are ruled by Mercury, so we always have to think about our voice. Are we using our voice, or do we trust in ourselves? Are we using it for good? I feel like, because we're ruled by Mercury, many of us work in the field of using our voice, so we do need to trust, trust within that. Feels like March, everything's coming to a head. Like this is where you are, it's like things are being revealed throughout the months, and then March is like, well, here it is, baby. I'm going to take one more over that Nine of Cups, or I'm sorry, the Nine of Pentacles, Eight of Wands. When I think about it, bring about over the Eight of Swords. Think about that. Eight of Swords is a fear-based energy. It's a self-created prison. Now, we can tell ourselves whatever we want to tell ourselves. We can say, hey, I'm just protecting myself. And listen, you have a right to do whatever you want to do. But it is self-created prison. And there's no way around that. And you stay as long as you want. But I hope you don't stay. Because the sun, again, is here to illuminate that, to help you eliminate that, and maybe even to get you to understand that when you're in the type of energy of the Eight of Swords and you're manifesting, you have two cards of really having the ability to manifest. And this year is all about manifesting. What energy am I sending out into the universe? Think of wands, like the Eight of Wands. I feel like four wands are going out. That's my intention of how I'd like to see my life or what I'd like to manifest next. And then four wands come back. Well, that's meeting your vibration. If I manifest from the energy of fear, I feel like I just bring more fearful things back to me. I feel like trust in your ability to create abundance for yourself. Some of you could, you could have worked for a company and making the decision to work for yourself. And I feel like you're qualified. Even if you don't know everything you need to know, you'll learn it as you go. All right, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. If I can pick it up. The Tower. Well, that's why that Eight of Swords is there. Four of Swords underneath that. Seven of Swords underneath that. Okay. So somebody didn't treat you well. And it does feel like it came to a head. It came to an end. But the Seven of Swords is right there. Untrustworthy energy. Do I want that in my life? Like, if I can't trust you, do I really want you? Even though sometimes it hurts to say goodbye, even to those that really aren't the greatest for us. This is someone I feel like who tells a lot of lies, whether it be small or big. But, after 10 lies, everything comes out of your mouth feels like a lie to me. I can't decipher. Well, you can, because the High Priestess is right here. Four Swords, healing. So you're able to heal this energy and to let it go. Tower, the end. Dun 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 dun. It's the end. But I feel like it needs to be the end anyway. Now, I feel like this Ace of Cups. It's unconditional love. Some of you could be an Aries. And again, I do feel like some of you fear love. Like, can anybody really love unconditionally? Yes. Especially soulmates. Yes. Doesn't mean I'll put up with someone's all their bullshit. But I can love someone unconditionally. Think of a child, like your child. You love them unconditionally. But, I don't know why I'm saying all that because I feel like there's someone who I don't want you to love unconditionally. Excuse me. I feel like I don't want to end it there. So I want to bring in the Gilded Tarot. Because ultimately you can take this Ace of Cups. Again, think of that as a seed. And you grow this seed. Well, to what? The whole way to the Palace of Cups. To me, that's like, like castles in the sky. All right. So, main reason I brought this out is I want to look at the Ace of Cups. You're the only reading I've clarified, like I've used clarifiers with. Look at this, the Four of Wands, Gemini. First of all, it's a marriage card. I call it the commitment card. I call it the most loving love card in the tarot because this is about two people who truly want to commit to each other. Like, I want to be with you, not just for a moment, but for the rest of my life. Everybody in this energy wants to be there. This can also mean blended families. I understand that you may have some fear over love. And again, that choice is up to you. Listen, I don't feel like it stops that ace from showing. So I feel like someone shows anyway. Then what you do, that's going to be up to you. But your intuition is mirroring that Ace of Cups. So, hello, Four of Wands. All right. I want to look at, I don't know why I didn't feel the need to clarify anybody else's reading. There's the Hierophant. Card of Taurus, by the way, your neighbor. This is about your belief system, faith, trust, trust in God, trust in a higher power. It's a five. And I feel like that's when we need our faith. It's like when changes are happening, have faith that they're happening for good reasons, even if they feel a little difficult. I'm not sure what I was taking this over, so I'm just going to lay it there. But I feel like I want to go back over to the Eight of Swords, Page of Cups. I get this feeling that someone has a history of just being in bad relationships. Or is that the right word? Like, I feel like a history of not getting the love that I feel like that you deserve, not probably deserve, that you do deserve. But in the same breath, I feel like, are you holding back? Now, that untrustworthy energy, I'm glad you're holding back from them. Let them be. But don't let their energy affect how you see love. That's how they love. That's all they know. But that doesn't mean that somebody else isn't coming in the door who knows exactly how to love. We're all learning how to love. But look at this, the Four of Wands, the marriage card right over the Ace of Cups. Page of Cups is about your inner child, your inner self, and really learning to love yourself again. Learning to let that inner child come out. And to me, that means like the foal. Have adventures. Have adventures. It's interesting because I feel like this is a year where our material growth is going to be tremendous if we're willing to put the work in and use the experiences of your past to help you with this because I feel like it's all meant to be. So I feel like that's first and foremost, but then love is also on the table in everybody's reading. But it feels like of the highest form. I mean, the Ace of Cups and then the Four of Wands. Well, that's the ultimate commitment. Maybe some of you just needed to feel this independent energy for a little while, and I feel like don't be in the Eight of Swords. Again, I'm turning my back to the world. Nothing good can ever happen. What I think about, I bring about. And I've got to know that. Instead, just realize there was someone who just didn't know how to love. That's just what they do. They'll probably do to the next person. They probably did it to the person before. And yeah, Sometimes we can't help who we fall in love with, but that doesn't mean we have to stay in it. And sometimes we think it's love, but it's not. This is love. I feel like I want to go right over the Emperor because I feel like for a lot of you, first of all, this is the leader of the people. Um, through experiences, this is also someone who's very methodical, puts a plan in place. If I need to make an exit, if I can put a plan in place, I may feel better. Sometimes you can't put a plan in place, you don't have the time. All right, with Four of Wands, look at that, the Emperor again, the Sun. Look, they're connected here, and they're connected here. And then the Two of Pentacles. I feel like if I'm not really sure, you know, not all of us know what we want to do in life. And I feel like if I'm not really sure, this is a great time to ask for guidance. Your guides will always be there for you. They'll always send you signs. And you have the sun here twice. Double Leo, double Aries on the board, by the way. Double illumination. Some of you may be afraid that, like, maybe there's a position where you are leading people. And maybe you're a little fearful of that. Maybe you're a little fearful that you're not capable of that, but you are. I feel like everything's happening with purpose. So, one of those lows is that Eight of Swords, but that low can move to a high very quickly. All I need to do is put the wall down, trust my energy instead, feel that Ace of Cups before it even arrives, that Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords in the Psychic Tarot is called triumphant success. And then the Palace of Cups right below that. So yeah, there was a tower. But you know what? I have a feeling whatever existed within that energy before the tower, it wasn't the Palace of Cups. It wasn't the Ace of Cups. And it doesn't feel like it was the Four of Wands. Someone may have said that they made a commitment to me, but I don't feel it really happened. So, I'm not saying that someone, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I feel like I'll let you fill that in. um, I feel like the most important thing on this table right now is about how you manifest, especially with the star here, the ability to manifest. Know that you can manifest and know that this year is meant for us to manifest. The sun, illumination. I feel like if you're not sure which direction to go, ask your guides. I feel like you will see the signs. If you don't, ask them to send another sign. Make it bigger, make it badder, make it so I can't refuse it. And then when you're putting your intentions out there, put the highest of intentions out there. Even if you don't know how you can handle it. Because I feel like you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. So, bottom line is, I feel like there's a lot of people starting their own businesses or adding new avenues into their businesses. I feel like definitely promotions. I feel like you're meant to be the leader now, in some way. It's like you are carrying the light, it's reminding me of like what do they call that? Where you pass the torch. I feel like the torch is being passed to you. I feel ultimately you have an opportunity, maybe where, I don't know, maybe two people were saying, I do. Maybe it doesn't have to go that far if you don't want it to. I'm in a committed relationship and I'm not married. Nine of Pentacles, I feel like, it's a natural Virgo energy, but I personally couldn't live without it. Independence. Doesn't mean I want to be alone. It just means that I value my independence. And I feel because we share Mercury and I have Gemini moon, that's what it means for you. So let's leave that be. And I'm not going to read everything, there's too many cards. Not too many cards, but I don't want to read them all. So let's read Patience. Patience, my child. All right. God's timing is perfect, as this card reminds you. When you pray for help, that request is heard and answered. If your prayer involves other people, their free will decisions influence the timing of the outcome. Heaven knows this and devises ingenious solutions that arrive at exactly the right moment. Well, there's your Knight of Pentacles. You receive this card as a reminder to have patience with God's plans and solutions. If you try to control, force, or push your own agenda, you may miss out on an infinitely better alternative. Ask Mother Mary to help you demonstrate her infinite patience and trust in God's timing. Amen. Be strong. Pull yourself up and do what needs to be done. Allow your feminine nature to come out. I allow it to shine brightly as a valuable part of my identity and grace. I am filled with the same beauty, poise, and divine perfection as all of God's other creatures. You are valued. Know that. And value yourself. And someone else is also going to value you. So, I think I should just leave it right there, guys. These are quite interesting. I'm glad I decided to just do the season because it allows me to get into it much more. Keep your eyes open for your spring edition. This is the type of reading you want to keep in your back pocket, download it, something like that, because um, you're probably going to want to come back and watch it. And then as things start to develop, come back and watch it again. Be like, okay, why? Because I feel like you hear it differently. Like each time you listen, I feel like you hear it differently. First I come to the table a little fearful and in my earthly fear, but then that starts to fade away. And now I come, with just open ears and I hear new messages. And then time moves on, and then I come with my spiritual ears and I hear the truth. So, you have a lot of beautiful cards. You have a few difficult cards, but listen, out of 3 months, not bad. You have really the ultimate love. If you decide, Two of Pentacles puts it in your court. You don't have to do it. You have beautiful energy for manifesting a business, independence, success, money, finances, and ultimately the Palace of Cups. I had someone that asked me, what is the Palace of Cups? To me, it just means the ultimate energy that I am aiming for. Palace of Cups. That's, you had inner harmony. Well, this is like everyone there is harmonious. Don't mean it's perfect, right? Because we're human, we're imperfect, but the ability to, unconditional love. I feel like for some of you, this may be the first time that you're truly feeling unconditional love. And I'm very happy for you. All right, I'm going to stop talking. I just want to say a quick thank you. Oh, by the way, I did extend my special buy one, get one free personal reading, which, I hardly ever do, maybe once every couple years. Um, but I thought, a lot of people are having a hard time this season. I know I am. And I'm talking about Christmas, so I extended it. And you can give one away as a gift, or you can keep them both. The only stipulation, if you keep them both, is to wait 4 months in between the two readings. There is no expiration date, just so you know that. And the only reason I put 4 months on it, well, two reasons. First of all, I don't feel like you need a reading. I feel like your personal reading will definitely cover at least 4 months. So I feel like that you're kind of wasting your money to get another reading before that. Um, so I feel like you wait and get it when you really feel like you need it, but that's completely up to you. Um, you know, but I probably won't run this special again for another couple years. So I had a few people reach out, quite a few people reach out and be like, oh, please. So I decided, well, if I extend for one, I have to extend for all. So I think I'm just putting one more week on it and then I have to end it. All right, guys. So, anyways, I don't know. Kind of loved it. Can't wait to hear your comments. Um, I'm doing these early to help you get ready for 2024 and to really understand it. Again, I would research the number eight, um, see what your personal year is, even your life path, and how they're going to relate to each other. I was even going to do that, but that would take me way too much time. I just don't have the time to do those type of readings. Well, at least right now. Who knows in the future? Um, but anyway, so I feel like just do your homework if you choose, and know as much as you can know. And then I feel like it gives you a sense of peace. All right. I thank you guys. I thank you for your donations. That is what keeps me on YouTube. Truly. And by the way, some people are like, oh, I can't afford to donate. Watching the ads, I know. I'm not even allowed to say that, but I don't think YouTube's going to watch the end of my video. But that is one way of really helping your tarot reader or anyone on YouTube. Um, yeah. Thank you for your comments. I'm definitely going to be, oh, I always read your comments. I love your comments. Even if I don't respond to them right away, I've read them. I read them when they come out. And then, I'll go back on a day and try to respond. But I do read them. Like, not everyone's right away, but if I see it, I read it right away. So thank you for your comments. Thank you for helping others. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for becoming a subscriber. And thank you for those who've been with me. By the way, I'm thinking of going live Saturday around 2 p.m. ish. So definitely have your notifications on if you're interested in it. And that means have that little bell rung. You have to be a subscriber. Otherwise you'll miss it. But if you are a subscriber, have the bell on and have all notifications on. Because even if, like, I've done a few lives now where a lot of people are bummed out because they missed them. And I think that's why, you have to fully ring that bell. Um, and I try not to overwhelm you anyway, but that's how you'll be notified. So I'm going to let that be. I love you guys. Um, I already know you're going to have a great year. I can feel it. Yes, there's going to be ups and downs, but I feel like, Gemini, I feel like you've come so far that these challenges that may like throw themselves in front of us, I feel like you can overcome them now. I really do. I feel like many of you are becoming so spiritual, so loving. Doesn't mean you're anybody's fool. Don't get me wrong. Like the Empress's energy. You're loving, you're nurturing. but you're powerful and you're strong. And these eight of swords, like the eight of swords now, we're seeing them less and less and less. And that's a good thing. And you know what it tells me when I see certain energies less and less and less? It means that people are listening, people are thinking about that and potentially making changes because after all, it is your energy I'm picking up on. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you. And I will see you next time at our table. Bye bye.